years ago, the Stevens family from Farnham faced a difficult future.
Two brothers from Surrey have hunter disease.
At the Stevens family, their boys have the debilitating illness called Hunter's syndrome.
Can have a large skull, stunted growth and heart problems.
Which means that they're unlikely to live beyond their teens.
Slowly immobilising joints and causing varying degrees of mental disability.
Outwardly, I don't think he's changed that much, but inwardly, it's a different story.
How does it affect everyday life? Can there be such a thing?
And the lungs are compromised, the esophagus thickens up so they can't chew food, they can't swallow it properly.
There was a fair degree of certainty that we would outlive our children, which is something which is pretty awful to contemplate.
Just have to go to the doctors because then you just have to wait and it takes long.
Boys have to go through an infusion, which is very similar to a blood transfusion, in fact, and that takes 4 hours for the process, and actually probably about 6 hours in total from start to end, and that is once a week, and without it, they will die.
Right guys, we're going to be doing some training today. I'm going to be filming with Ed, who is a former strongest 16-year-old in Britain. We're going to film some content and we're just going to smash it.
There you go, come on.
I think Reza is a good bloke and he's fucking mental.
And to be fair, I am to be fair pretty mental.
I respect it, he's got a lot of it, big fire inside him, you know. Has the hate affected you?
Yeah, it kind of has. I'm trying to approach it in a way kind of using that to force, like in the gym and everything I do, like whether it's the gym, YouTube, that kind of thing, but I'm also trying to hold grudges on people, because if I can sort this mindset out for myself, then whatever anyone else says around me won't really affect, and then that allows me to be the best version of myself.
People don't know that Sam is full of love. He's a nice guy, you know, he's giving, he's loyal to his brothers, he treats them like his sons, you know.
I didn't pay him to say any of that, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, we all make mistakes, whether it's online or whatever, and that's why I try not to use my phone as much, because most of my issues come from that device, whereas in person it's everything's fine. So I try and stay out of all that, and then my YouTube I kind of with my friends and like you and all that kind of stuff, it gives me that enability to like just be myself and just like on camera, and then it just, when the camera's off, it's like I then shut off, and then, you know what I mean? Keeping it a secret is, it was hard because you obviously, you know, you're doing it in silence, but you don't want to let people know that vulnerability and that issue, because it can be very, very scary. And obviously as you get older, you kind of just get on with it anyway. So it's not the case of, you know, I don't want to tell people to be like, oh, you know, to get any more sympathy from people. I've just realistically got on with it, and it was just going to be another obstacle on my way to do my YouTube career.
You don't see that Sam actually has quite a caring side, and he worries about himself and he worries about his friends. He does worry about living with hunters, and he tries to keep that quiet and keep it a secret from both his parents and his mates. But he's trying to do as much as he can to look after himself, and we're very proud of him and what he's trying to achieve. So living with a rare disease is really challenging, and living with hunters even more so, because it's an ultra rare disease and has a lot of complications as you get older. Sam does really well. I mean, he's had loads of operations, procedures, doctor's appointments, hospital appointments, and yet he's still a grumpy fucker. He's a normal young man. He still thinks his balls are big enough to fit in a dump truck, and that he's invincible even though he lives with this disease, and fair play to him. He wants to live his life, and I'm not going to stop him.
For me, making content and making people laugh, doing stupid stuff, and being able to use my story to help others around me, change the way people look at different things with my own story, proving people wrong, proving the haters wrong, proving everyone showing everyone what I'm capable of doing, and the same with fame. Fame means nothing. I don't do it for fame. I do it for the sake of showing people what they can do, no matter what they've got going on in their lives. So basically, some of you might be wondering what actually is the Hunters. What is it? So basically, my body doesn't make the correct enzyme. So that means that I'm, like this. I get the correct enzyme put into me. It's way too complex for me to fully explain. But the enzyme my body doesn't make, that affects my bones, ligaments. It can potentially affect people's brains, which it has. It affects my muscles, mobility. It affects everything in a negative way. So this basically allows me to, have a bit more flexibility and slows down the disease impact on my body, kind of thing.
So I don't truly understand everything Sam goes through, and I think that I admire how it doesn't matter that he has Hunters, that he gets on with it, he lives his life, and the fact that he's still doing YouTube, for one, I probably would have given up by now. He wants to see the growth on the channel, he wants to push his voice to a larger audience and hasn't been able to so far, and I don't think I would have been able to carry on with his gym. He could quite easily, he's told me many times that his muscles are stiff, his body's deteriorating, and it's obviously not easy for him, but that doesn't stop him going to the gym. And all the hate comments, all the doubters, all the people that said he couldn't do it, he just wants to prove them wrong, and he wants to inspire other people while doing that.
Obviously, with the YouTube and the success that comes with being a YouTuber, I want to be able to support the people around me and provide for everyone else as well, and create fun memories and trips. I always joke about going on a jet with the friends like Logan Paul, Jake Paul, and it can be very draining, and some days you don't want to do it, but that passion and that motivation stick with you, and that's what keeps me pushing. On YouTube so far, I've gained over 2,000 subscribers. I've made some banging videos. I've jumped off a roof, slid behind a car. I've done loads of stupid stuff, and it's just the beginning. Okay. What I do is I just have my morning routines, cold showers, cardio, gym, haircut, interview, which is usually what I had before. I had gym and on one side, then I have my goal list on the other. I figured out, I just have a blast with people around me, parties, with friends, That's the best thing that I love. I love being able to, I thrive off being around people that I'm close with. It's the best feeling to be able to do stuff with people around with. So obviously now that COVID's dying down a little bit, we're able to, smash out parties, more content, and all the exciting stuff. So what I also do as well, I have the goals down on my phone, which used to be on the whiteboard. So I have by 2021 hit 10,000 sub, be in shape of my life, have 100,000 views on the channel. Goals for the next 5 years: be financially stable, collab with 5 of my top YouTubers, go on True Geordie, make a documentary, over 100,000 subscribers, one my dream car, so that could be a Mercedes AMG, and then also go on a Jack Make Happy Hour podcast as well. So just things like that, just every now and then, just look at it, just envision it in your head, try and think of bringing it to life, and that's just it really. I want to be remembered by the guy, the hardest worker in the room, the guy that doesn't stop for nothing. He keeps pushing everyone else around him. He keeps trying to uplift the scenes and uplift the mood in the room around people, changing the way that, whether they got disabilities, whether they have a tough upbringing, whether they got a disease like myself, they got one leg, they're struggling to get their passion, anything that I want to be able to be a voice for those people and be able to uplift that. And even for all of the mainstream people in the world, being able to be more open about stuff in your private life to the people around you that you value. At the end of the day, to get what I want to get, it's going to take a lot of hard work and graft to get the YouTube subscribers I want to get the views I want to get the support I want to get. It's going to be hard, and I've had to make the sacrifices dropping out of college and all that kind of stuff. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get my YouTube off the ground, also to motivate those other people to do exactly the same. Whatever sacrifices come my way, shall be it.